Welcome to your second video. I'm glad you made it this far. You're almost done. No, I'm just kidding. We got a lot to go, but you'll be learning so much. So I hope you stay with me, and I hope you comment, subscribe, leave me some feedback, and let me know what you think, because I really appreciate it. So in this video, I'll be going over organization, how a database works, and what they call normalization. Alright, so as I said in the last video, data is stored in tables. And basically, when you're drawing or designing with a pencil or a piece of chalk or programs such as MySQL Workbench, here I'll write it. This will allow you to design databases on your computer. So here's a table, and it's named info, and you have a website or any kind of application for such a video game you make that's access to through the internet. And where you can store information about specific users, such as their username, their password, email, login, which I guess would be username, any kind of security questions, you can all store it in their information. These would each be stored in their own column, which are typically like this. So these would be named what they are. So like we'd have an ID for each user, and then we'd have the name, and I can't write that small, and then phone number, username, password, and you can just basically go on and keep adding more and more that you need. And then each individual entry, such as, let's say I sign up for this app or game, and I build an account and sign up, my entry would come across this way. So ID of 1, Caleb, that's my name, phone number, you wish, no I'm just kidding, but you probably do. So this is all good, except what if you need to store something not so related, such as, let's say, a person on this application, let's say, you can write comments to each other, sort of like Facebook or any other social networking website, and then you need to store these comments in your database. Should you store them down here? Well, you actually shouldn't, because that's not really related to the information of the person. This is where we get the term normalization, which maybe that's not where we get it, but normalization is reducing redundant information by creating more tables. So rather than storing user comments with all the with all the user's information, you can have two tables. So this would be info, and this would be comments. Just like that. So now you can have this crap separated to make things more organized. Now when you're normalizing a database, there's 3 forms to follow. First normal form, second normal form, and third normal form. There's technically is 3 more, but we're not going over those because they're not really needed. Alright, so first thing, make sure everything is atomic. And if you don't know what that means, it's basically, it can't be split up any farther. So let's say, address. Now, this can consist of a street address, city, state, country, planet. Instead of doing that, what you can do is break the address up into city, and then state. And put these into a table, split them up, and have separate entries. This makes things easier and it's more organized. And another thing of being atomic is you can't have something that'll store more than one thing, such as favorite animals. So fave animals, I'll just put, okay, favorite animals. And you put dog, cat, Leopolodon. This is also a violation because you're storing 3 things in one spot. That's not atomic. So what you need to do is create new tables. And that's what gets us to the second normal form, which is basically creating the new tables for all this information. Alright, so let's go with the same example. Favorite animals. You can have a table for the information about the person, and then you can have a table for their favorite animals. Alright, so then it would list the person here, and one of their favorite animals here. Then it would list the person and one of their favorite animals. And then this is actually tied to this, which with what they call a primary key, which we'll get into in one of the upcoming videos. So that's basically what you need to do. Don't store it all in one slot. Spread it out into a new table. And we'll be getting into this with our examples that we'll be going over. And you'll be following me in MySQL or PHP-MyAdmin, and you'll learn what's going on if you don't understand anything. Alright, the next thing you need to do is look at how things rely on each other. And I know that doesn't really make any sense, so I'll just give you an example. Info. I know I've used that example a lot. It's because it's really good. Alright, so if you have name, city, phone number, and then you have the city's governor. You see, this is a violation because yes, technically, if you change the person, their city will change, which will then change the city governor, unless they live in the same city as somebody else. But you see, this is actually reliant on the city, because if you change the city, then the city governor would also change. So that's the next thing you have to do. And then after that, just overview it, make sure nothing's wrong, and then you can look at relations, and that's what I'll be showing you next.